Although I haven't spent a lot of time on my game room, I have been spending time doing some pickups, and I noticed throughout some of my pickups that I grab things that I've literally never heard of, meaning I haven't heard people talk about it, I never really saw any advertisement for it, and although I've never heard of it, just disclaimer, maybe you've heard of it, maybe it's a game that's like insanely popular, but somehow I missed out on it and I ended up getting some of these games, and I want to talk about some of the games that seem to elude pretty much all attention from me. The very first one is a PS3 title, Sacred 3. Literally never heard of this title. It looks like it's an action like role-playing game. For local players, you can play 1 to 2 players, but this is something that has completely like eluded my attention completely. You know, it's a hack and slash combat with 4-player campaign options. Apparently it got mixed reviews, but I like to make my own opinion about video games and try them on my own. I've always been a big fan of couch co-ops and hack and slashes, so I think I can have a really fun time with this game. You saw the price tag of $8 on it, but that was part of a bundle deal that I got, so I ended up saving some money, so I got it for a little cheaper than that. If you've been paying attention to my channel at all, I went a little hard on Xbox 360 recently, and I couldn't resist picking up Vanquished, which is an Xbox 360 title, as I said. It is bloody terrific, according to the back of the case here. But it's a third-person shooter published by Sega with a focus on high-speed, dynamic combat. And a lot of people notated it for its like high graphics for the time, which I'm not a really big graphics person, but that's really cool to hear that the game visually was just like really awesome to look at. It was also notated for its high-quality graphics and smooth animations, with a strong influence from like Japanese anime and manga, which you may or may not know this about me, but I really early on in my life, in my teen years, I was like into the anime and manga stuff. Not so much as an adult. It's not that I don't like it, it's just something that hasn't really kept my interest. This next one on my list, and it seemed to be the one that piqued my interest the most, was Pirates Legend of the Black Buccaneer for PlayStation 2. Now, again, this is one of those ones that like the reviews did not do well, but a game where you can play a pirate, like playing the pirate's life, is really intriguing to me. The Black Buccaneer apparently is like an alter ego of like the main character, and he's got like enhanced abilities and strength. The concept for this game sounds really fun. So that really sucks that it got mixed reviews, but if anyone wanted to like remake a game where you're a pirate and you have this like alter ego that like comes out and has these like special abilities, I think that would make a really kick-ass game where you can like open world, like discover treasures, take over people's ships, like a little bit more of the like Assassin's Creed Black Flag type thing. And then also having this like supernatural thing to it. I think that would be really fun, but this game really has my attention, so I think I really want to try it out, and maybe I'll even make a video about it. Apparently there's also platforming, which if you know anything about me, I love platforming, and you're navigating through like environments, solving puzzles, avoiding traps, you know, a lot of the things that a typical pirate would do. The next one on my list, and I will admit, the name like kind of sounded familiar, so maybe it's mildly a cheat, but Dragon's Dogma for the PlayStation 3. I don't know anything about this game, and honestly, a lot of these titles that I picked up was either because I was trying to buy for a particular system, or I just thought that the cover was interesting enough to buy something. Dragon's Dogma is an action role-playing game developed by Capcom. It was originally released for the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 in 2012, but the game is known for its deep combat system and a large world of innovative, like, pawn system, which allows players to recruit AI companions. Apparently this did have some good feedback, and like I said, I think it is a little bit more well-known, it just wasn't to me. It seems like a lot of these games were a lot of like PS3 and Xbox 360 titles, and the next one is Dungeon Siege 3, another third in the series. Again, never heard of it, but you're born from legend to unite a legion, or I think legion, because I can read. So it's an action role-playing game developed by Obsidian and Square Enix. It's a third installment, like I said, released for multiple platforms, but it's an action RPG that does like the hack and slash again, with character progression, exploration, and the gameplay features like a real-time combat, character customization, and a variety of quests. But the criticism was directed more at its like linear level design, I guess, with a dialogue system and deviations from the traditional formula of the previous series. So again, I don't know anything about this game. It's the third one. I didn't play any of them, but apparently they deviated enough from the others that people had a little bit of a problem with this one. Another thing, if you want to learn more about me, is I have a fascination with like samurais. So the fact that I have not played Ghost of Tsushima yet is probably a sin, but Samurai Warriors 2 Empires for the Xbox 360, again, another Xbox 360 title. This one I was really interested in, and it was $14.95 at like a Game Crazy. Felt like I didn't have to pay too much for that, but this is one of those ones that I just literally never heard of, which is crazy because I love samurais. I did get an Xbox 360 kind of late in its lifespan, so that could play a big part in it. It was part of the larger like Warrior series, which includes like Dynasty Warrior games. It was released for multiple platforms like the other ones, but apparently it is involving like large-scale battles where the player controls like a single character fighting through hordes of enemies and completing like various objectives throughout the battlefield. Kind of reminds me of like a Hyrule Warriors, but again, I've never played it, so I'm not sure. But I was really interested in giving this one a shot. On to our second to last game, Risen 3 Titan Lords for the PlayStation 3. Again, another third. Again, another PS3 title. And I literally have never heard of this game at all. I love fantasy games. I don't really know if that's really what it's about, so let's dig into that. Titan Lords is an action RPG with like strong emphasis on like exploration, combat, and character development. The gameplay involves like a mix of melee combat, magic, and ranged attacks with a focus on player choice and open world exploration. I would imagine back in the day that would be something that was really appealing to people because in like the Xbox 360 PS3 days, although with Skyrim being out there, I feel like open world wasn't as like injected into games as it is like now. So like back then, I think it was still enough of a newer experience that I could understand getting excited about this game before even experiencing it. And a last minute entry on this list, and this was a thrift store buy recently. You have to understand, I like going karaokeing. I think it's fun. And having a PlayStation 2, there was the SingStar series. And I own pretty much most of the SingStar games you can get. And for some reason, I had no idea there was a SingStar Pop Volume 2, which, if you don't know what SingStar is, it's like a karaoke game where there's these bars that you have to follow to like hit the notes, and you can go from like easy, medium to hard, so big bubbles to medium to small, and you have a set playlist that they like license to that disc. So it wasn't like something like later on where you could like buy like songs as they added it in. This was basically, this is what you got. What was on it is what you could play with. And so owning the games that I own, I don't get to change what songs we have. We have what we have, but I had no idea that there was a second one to this. So if anyone likes SingStar at all, let me know in the comments down below that I'm not the only one that still loves playing this in 2024. So those are some pickups that I did of games that I really just picked off of either wanting to add to a particular collection or just due to what the title looked like. And they're games that I've literally never heard of. So tell me if I picked up any of the titles that is like a game that you loved, something that I should definitely try like as soon as possible, or did I pick up some duds? Let me know in the comments down below. But thank you guys again so much for watching, and don't forget, there's a pixelated world waiting out there for you.